once you've logged into your account, you're going to be starting on the portal menu page. It should look like this page here. It says, "Welcome to the new client portal." Let's start at the very top. It should say hi and then your name. My name's Michael. And then your client ID. In this case, my client ID is 500. So you'll have these menu options right here, but let's start here where it says Start Here for My Statistics. You're going to click there, that image there, and it's going to take you to a page of different states. Choose the state you're in. In my case, I'm in Ohio. And then you're going to have a list of different client IDs. In this case, again, my client ID is 500, so I'm going to click 500 here. It's going to take me into my company portal. This is your dashboard, which contains lots of data about the placements that you have in your Point Credit Solutions system. So let's start over to the left. The Quick Links menu is your navigation. Dashboard, status report, account placement, account update, and client profile. At the top of the page, you have some statistics here that show you how much of the system you've used so far and how much is remaining. So in this case, I purchased a 250 account package. I've used 122 accounts. 30 of those accounts have been replaced, and that leaves me with 158 accounts still remaining to place. If you're not sure about account replacements, every account that you would put into our system, no matter what happens, is counted here. And what I mean by that is if you place an account with us and then there's an error or something like that, it's still going to show as account here, even if we close the account out right away on your behalf because there was some type of an error or a duplicate or anything like that. So every account you place is going to be counted here. If we have a situation where for some reason you decided that you didn't want to place that account, maybe you placed an account and within 3 hours the person came in and made a payment to you, and obviously we never even sent a letter to them. Or let's say that you placed an account and then you realized that there was a billing mistake on your end, and so you decided that you wanted to close that account. Or any scenario where you mistakenly placed the account. We have what we call a 24-hour cancel period. So once the account's placed, it will be counted here, but if you cancel the account for any reason in the first 24 hours, you'll automatically receive a replacement here so that it doesn't count against the number of accounts that you purchased. The other example is on our integrated receivables system. If you have the gold level or above, which would be gold, platinum, or titanium, any account that completes the integrated receivables system communication stage and is not collected in full, you'll automatically receive a replacement here as well. And so this first table on the top just shows you how many you purchased, how many you've used, how many have been replaced, so that you have an idea of how many you have left, and is it time to purchase more. The next section on the dashboard is a series of different charts. In this case, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables, 5 charts. So I'll go through these with you, but I want to show you some examples up here of the different filters you can use after I explain some of these charts. The most helpful chart, in my opinion, shows you the results of accounts as we work through the collection process. The integrated receivables system is about 90 to 120 days in the communication stage, and then the recovery stage can last up to 4 years, or even longer depending on the statute of limitations. So what you would expect is the longer the account has been with us, the more activity we have applied, and you'll see higher recovery ratios on the left of the chart typically than you would on the right of the chart. So in this case, what you're seeing, this chart was this chart was made to be a sample, and it includes accounts placed from January 2019 to February of 2020. In this case, it shows the accounts that were actually placed in January of 2019. You can see here 100% of those were resolved. Total dollars placed was $4,840.98, and total resolve was $4,840.98. The next month, which is February 2019, you can see 80% of those accounts have been resolved, and you can see, again, you can see those dollars there. So this is going to show you each month of placements since the beginning of time, starting with Point Credit Solutions. The further you get to the right, this is kind of an anomaly here, but the further you get to the right, the lower the recovery ratio, and that's simply because we've just started on the collection process. When you're looking at your chart, these are going to be the most recent accounts that have placed with us, and so we may only be 30 days into the process or 60 days into the process or what have you, depending on your circumstances. So this is going to show you what we call account resolve on a monthly basis. The next chart is going to show you total dollars resolved and a percentage. If you hover over this, you're going to get a percentage, which in this case, well, I guess the percentage is here, 74.5% resolve. And then here's the difference, which is 25.5% that's still outstanding. The next chart shows actual placements. And so there's two pieces of data here for each. Again, this is on a monthly basis. There's two pieces of data here for each month. First of all, the bar chart shows the actual dollars. Again, $4,840.98. And then the dot or the line chart shows the number of placements. In this case, it's 6 placements, 8 placements, 8 again, 9, 9, 6, and so on. And so typically what we see with clients is the very first month they start with us, we see a very high number here because they haven't been doing anything with accounts receivable. Typically, a client will start with us. They have a cleanup to do, and so we'll see a high number there. And then after that, it will steady into something more consistent in terms of dollars as well as numbers of placements. Typically, you should have a policy in place that a certain time each month, maybe the 15th, maybe the 25th, whatever it is, the end of the month, beginning of the month, whatever it is, every single month you review accounts, anything over 90 days. Our suggestion is that you send that over to us, and I'll explain a little more of that later. But that's what this chart is going to show you. Placements over time on a monthly basis in terms of dollars and numbers of placements. The next chart is going to show you year by year. So this is 2019, 2020, and 2021. And here you have 4 columns. This is the orange or red, green, blue, and there's a small yellow column here. And let me explain what this is. The red column is the total dollars placed for the year 2019. In this case, $52,773.39. The green column is the total dollars resolved. In this case, $43,108. The blue column is total dollars collected. Now, you might ask, what's the difference between collected and resolved? Well, let's go back up to the example that we had up here. If you placed one of these accounts with us, or in this case, it could be 30 accounts with us, that within 24 hours you canceled the account, it's already in our system. And so those dollars are going to count in this column here. We don't erase them. We have to account for those. So if an account comes in and then it's a 24-hour cancel, it'll count here as a placement. It'll also count as resolve, but it won't count as dollars collected. It'll show over here in the write-off column. So the yellow column is for write-offs, and this is, I guess, the only example that we have here. But you will notice a difference between resolved. In other words, an account was given to us to try to come up with a solution to get this person to pay, and then we were able to resolve that with or without the actual dollars. In this case, the difference is about $500. Your difference might be more significant than that or less significant than that. Here's an example of year 2020. Dollars placed, dollars resolved, dollars collected, and then write-offs. And then same thing in 2021. These two happen to be the same number, and quite often that is the same number. The last chart is similar to this chart here, but this is on the chart here is on an annual basis, and this chart is on a monthly basis. So you could see the example here. Total dollars placed in May of 2020 was $7,773, and the resolve number was $7,150, and then there's still a remaining balance of $623. So you can always see here how that's broken down on a monthly basis. This gives a more realistic, detailed number, because if you thought about this number here, 28%, truth is the national average recovery ratio is 17.9%. So 28% is nearly double the national average. But if you only had that number, it wouldn't reflect these numbers. And so over here, this is a culmination of all those numbers, and that gives you the 74%. But if you saw the 74%, you would know that that's an average between this 28 and this 100, or somewhere in the middle of this. So breaking it down by month gives you a feel for how the program works over time. I hope this helps you. This is a real simple dashboard, but a lot of our clients find it super, super valuable.